Okay, Smackdown Live. Before I get started, I want to say this. I saw some parts of Raw, not the entire show, and I've heard from Wrestling Inc. podcast and the Lex Man. I think I even checked out Grim, but I don't remember because my internet went crazy again. And they just finally fixed it. I want to say my internet is not working, and I had to pay $80. But at least it's working now. But honestly, even if I don't remember if I saw Grimm or not, because I was going to watch Grimm, the show sucked. It was all about shock. Now, you could say Paulie's the one that does shock and awe. No. Paulie is methodical. Paulie would make sure the show would be something other than Vince's work. Because this looked like Vince's work. Honestly, nothing changed. It was about either one or two things you get on Raw. Either get heavy shock, that's only temporary, or you get heavy repetition, that is long term. And what we got here, like what happened with the Falls Count Anywhere match at the very opening of the show, was shock. That is all it was. The LEDs, let me make this in context. When you saw the LEDs explode because Lashley and the Braun Strowman, who guys I should care about, who I don't because they've been so badly booked. When they went through that LED screen, they had way too many fireworks. Look, there's nothing wrong with using fireworks to show that it's electrical short out. But when you overdo it like you did in that scene, it totally shows that you're compensating for something. And then worse, it wasn't the fact that they showed this scene over and over again. They've done that before, but they made it so apparent they wanted you to remember this shock. From what I can tell, they went overboard trying to make this awe, this shock value so important to make you watch. I don't get why the Lex Man is saying this show was cool. I don't get how they can accept, how the Lex Man can accept calm down. Maria Kanellis Bennett bitching out Mike Bennett. I'm not saying Kanellis. I'm saying Bennett. This guy has been seen on 205 Live barely. He now has come to Raw. He has a match with the man and her man in I don't know why they're even going together. Look, when you see Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, they don't feel like they're a couple. If you look at Lacey Evans and Kevin and Baron Corbin, Baron Corbin, they look like a couple. They don't feel like it. They feel like they're being forced to be what they already are. And when you see this match between the Bennetts and the man, because I'm going to say it that way, it was disgusting. It was bad enough that they tried to say, and maybe she is pregnant. If Maria is pregnant, cool. That might be her last match before she goes away again. Then you see her husband, Mike, get bitched out with a really bad disarmor. Because he didn't even have his arm straightened. It was crooked and it looked bad. But then his own wife bitches him out on national and international television. That is not a Paul Heyman run. That is a Vincent Kennedy McMahon run in a line, a running joke to a guy that I just found out just re-signed for another 5 years. He went when he could have left the company. If he had to stay, instead of staying on 205 Live, he comes to Raw and gets bitched out by his wife. It's disgusting. This Raw was bad. And I don't know why anyone says it was good. So we look at Smackdown with Eric. Supposedly he's running it now, or possibly running it, or partially running it. You look at this show, there was no difference. Yeah, I know the people are going to say, oh, there were things that were different on there. Really? Shock value. Short-term shock does not mean long-term gain. And I want to make this clear before I get started with this review. The reason I'm acting like this is because this is exactly what they gave us back in December, back before that in October last year, this year in the beginning of January, shock value, and now again they give us shock value. Nothing long-term that changes. Until I see something different, I'm going to say this is garbage. But let me explain the reason why. Opening of the show, the KO show, I did not want to see it. As they always do, they have a long promo. This felt like how Raw normally looks. You had, let's put it in perspective. You got KO. I'm going to be honest here. Kevin Owens, I think, didn't want to do this. Because when you saw him going through the motions while this scene was going on, yeah, he was trying to do his character. But honestly, Kevin Owens is not very good when he really tries to hide his feelings. Because I don't think he liked this situation. Honestly, there was a few moments while Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon was talking during the Kevin Owens show, you can legitimately see, really past the part where he's trying to show how he's frustrated about not being champion, he really didn't like this. Then you got Dolph Ziggler coming out, which I knew they're going to make them go into a feud for some stupid convoluted reason. And they did. Let's put it in perspective right now. The end of the show, and I'm doing it now, the end of the show where you had Heavy Machinery and you have KO and Dolph who were teamed together because of Shane McMahon. This didn't feel like anything. It was like 3 segments stuck into one that made no sense. Look, I'll explain what happened with Big E and Daniel Bryan later. But when you see Daniel Bryan and Rowan attack, well, actually, they're the good guys because New Day attacked them. Really. New Day attacking Rowan and the champion of the world of Daniel Bryan, where they're supposed to be the heels, but then New Day attacks them? Really? This just looks stupid. And then the match itself, which was a freaking afterthought. Think about this. Heavy Machinery is a good team. Kevin Owens and Dolph, yeah, they're not bad together. But this should have been about Heavy Machinery. And yes, they got the win, but didn't beat anything because this was really booking more of a Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler feud, because after Kevin Owens did the job and lost the match, he stuns a Dolph Ziggler. This was trash. And I don't know how anyone could say that entire segment where they were focusing more about the fight in the back, then they had to go to commercial, and then they went back to their match again, which just felt like garbage. And oh, they went 8 minutes overtime. 8:10. No, 10:08. I'm sorry. And it didn't make a difference. It still felt like garbage. Here's another thing. Joe and Kofi. When I knew they were going to have this face-to-face, I knew it was going to be bad. And it's not because Kofi can't talk. It's not because Joe can't talk. Joe is the best talker in the company. I'm sorry, he is. If no one doesn't agree with me, I understand. But as far as my perspective is, he is the best heel that can do the best promos. But his track record in the ring is nothing. Then you got Kofi Kingston. And when it comes to Kofi, he's done a good job being champ with bad storytelling. But people still like him. And now you stick them together in a meaningless, uncaring feud. That's only a holdover until SummerSlam. And one, I just don't believe Joe. I don't care about Joe. And that angers me. Then I don't care about Kofi. I still love Kofi and I still love Joe, but I don't care about either one of them. Because Kofi getting attacked by Joe means nothing. Joe going after Kofi means nothing. Joe giving up his title to Ricochet means nothing. Ricochet getting his ass handed to him by AJ last week. And this week retaining after he's getting a match against AJ means nothing. So why do I care? Next! Alexa Bliss's Moment of Bliss run by Nikki Cross. Really? This was all about setting up Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss's feud. I knew when Alexa said to Nikki, I want you to run the Moment of Bliss because I trust you. And I knew Bayley's coming, isn't she? There goes Bayley. Bayley comes out And then they have this little back and forth about why Nikki is not, and I repeat again, is not number one contender because she gave it to Alexa. And then instead of Nikki saying, I'm not going against Alexa, you're not going to make me. No, he says, I don't know why either. And then she says, well, if you want, I'll give you a match now. And I thought, here we go. You're going to have the Alexa, the Bayley, and the Nikki Cross in a possible triple threat at the pay-per-view. No! With all of this madness and all of this silliness of Alexa going to have a feud against Nikki Cross because it looks like they're going there, you get Nikki I'm botching because she jobbed. Does that mean she's going to get another chance? Does it mean that she's going to ruin her chance? Does this mean Nikki Cross is going to turn heel? Doesn't mean anything. It just feels stupid. Now, either they're ending this so Nikki will have nothing to be holding against when Alexa loses, and they're just going away their feud. Or this is still going to be about the feud, and that means Bayley means nothing. Because this is all about Alexa. Not about Bayley. Not about Nikki. A Raw girl dealing with a Smackdown girl when she shouldn't be dealing with her at all. Next. Oh, I gotta go here. R-Truth. Angry about what happened on Raw last night. And I saw that. I saw the segment. I found about it and I saw the highlights of it. And it was beyond stupid that oh my gosh. You're telling me Rockstar Spud has that woman, that Renee Michelle is so beautiful. I dream to have a woman that seems that sweet, that nice, that gorgeous by my side. And they have him with her. I want to kill him so badly just for acting with her. I want to slaughter him. But they got her in the most stupidest situation with Rockstar Spud, with R-Truth, where R-Truth is avoiding everyone, runs into Rockstar Spud not once but twice because Rockstar Spud was stupid enough to bring Renee Michelle to Raw because he could not bear not getting the 24/7 title. He now gets the 24/7 title, runs away with Renee Michelle. And now R-Truth said they're supposed to be in Orlando, not Orlando, in Texas. And they're in Texas. And he's going to be messing with them. Really? If you got it on YouTube, fine. But on the show, I don't care. Let's move on. Ember Moon versus Mandy Rose. I'm angry beyond no reason. Why is Ember Moon, who is a superior wrestler to a Mandy Rose, to a Sonya Deville? Now, I'm not taking anything away from those two. They have their moments. Sonya Deville is a better wrestler than Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is eye candy. She's supposed to somewhat wrestle once in a while. Sonya is one who's supposed to be a constant wrestler because she wrestles better. And you have a Ember Moon who's better than both of them because she's been in the business longer doing this. Having a feud between them both because she's a loner. Still going with this stupid storyline. Still it doesn't make any sense. And I'm moving on. Alright, what else is here? Have I forgotten about? Okay. Daniel Bryan versus Big E. Was it a bad match? No. Did I like it? It wasn't bad. But what does this give us? Nothing. Daniel Bryan wins the match. So what momentum does he have going into the pay-per-view? Particularly that they just got attacked by New Day and they beat up New Day, but it doesn't mean they're going to keep their titles against New Day possibly because it's still a triple threat between New Day and Heavy Machinery. I don't get it. Aleister Black. I'm going to pair Aleister Black up with his wife, Zelina Vega, in a moment. But Aleister Black Now suppose he's going to get a match at a pay-per-view and he doesn't know who knocked at his door. I think that answered my question right there. And if it didn't answer my question, I'm sure it answered yours. I didn't care. And that's sad. Apollo Crews versus Almost. Andrade Cien Almost. A good match for what short amount of time. But tell me, what does this mean? Andrade won. So? I mean, a match is supposed to happen a month ago. Andrade Cien Almost has been ditching Apollo Crews. And in the end, he still gets his ass handed to him by the foolishness of this feud. It's so dumb. A month of waiting to just have a match with a guy. Being bothered by Zelina Vega saying, "You want me." That goes nowhere. And in the end, Apollo Crews still loses. Does that make any sense to you guys? I don't think so. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry, because this show just plain sucked. Oh, one other thing. Do you guys believe that Mustafa Ali is going to be Superman? Or is he going to be the next, what? I'm not even sure what he is. If he's not turning into Superman, what is he turning into? He says he's going to show everybody that people that look like him. Well, he's a Muslim. Is he saying that for Muslims? I'm going to say it. The way that he's being described, the first promo that he had, the video package, it kind of made him sound like he's going to be the next Hurricane. Now this promo, this video package, makes him sound like he's going to be the next Messiah for the Muslims. I'm not racist against Muslims. I'm not. If it was a Christian, it'd be the same thing. If it was Jewish, it'd be the same thing. It sounds like he's trying to become the next Messiah. Is that what they want? Or is he supposed to be the next Hurricane, the next superhero? Or is he just going to be a boring face that looks like he's going to be getting pissed off and jobbing and then turn heel? I just don't know. So let's put this in perspective of this entire thing. Was this a good show? No. Was it new content? No. Was there any shock value there? A little. Was it better than Raw? No. As far as I can tell, both shows sucked ass. And yes, I know I didn't say anything about Kofi Kingston putting the finger up when Samoa Joe said simply, "Shake my hand and I'll make sure that your wife and your kids and your friends won't be hurt." I know I could have said something about that, but this is a part of shock and awe. This is a shock value thing. Basically saying, I'm going to whoop your ass. That's shock value. That's short-term gain, which does not equate to long-term gain. Nothing has changed for both shows. Both shows, well, Raw tried heavy shock, and Smackdown did more of a repetition type of thing with a tiny bit of shock added to it. And that's just sad. If this was run by Eric, it came off bad. If the other show was run by Paulie, that came off bad. So the long burn, if it's similar to this, I don't see no change. Now I'm hoping I'll be wrong, and I hope both Raw and SmackDown will be something that I can honestly make a review of and enjoy. That's what I'm hoping for. And I'm sure people can say, "You're not seeing it." Wait until a couple of months. Didn't we have this conversation in October into December? Didn't we have this conversation in December into February? Didn't we have this conversation from February all the way into WrestleMania? That same damn conversation about, watch, things are going to change. Things are going to be different. Things are going to be great. The only thing that we got that was different was Kofi actually becoming the first black champion. That's the only thing we ever got. Now it's something, but it doesn't make the show better. Have a good day. Have a good night.